Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be unboxing the Hewlett-Packard Officejet 6700 Premium all-in-one. And this thing is loaded with features, automatic duplex, 35-page document feeder, wireless networking, something called HP Copy Smart. It has fax and it can scan. It's got a ton of features, and it's priced really low considering the number of features that it has. But the thing that you need to be aware of is that it uses a tricolor 933 tricolor cartridge and a 933 black ink cartridge. But there's also XL cartridges available, which will bring down your cost per page considerably. And I recommend that you take advantage of that once you need to replace these setup cartridges. So let's get going. And by the way, the setup cartridges on HP products have as much ink as a standard cartridge. In fact, they have a little more ink. So when it primes, primes the system, you're still going to get the same yield that you would get from a standard cartridge. Now, everything's on the top of the box, and there's a lot of stuff in here. There's a fax wire, and we recommend that if you're going to use the fax to use this wire. We've had other HPs in the past where this was a proprietary wire and it doesn't work with a regular phone wire, so we try this one first. There's ink cartridges over here. In fact, I said that it had tricolor before, so it looks like, no, I was wrong. Thankfully, this machine has standard CYM and black. You can get XLs as well, so this is a really good deal, this particular unit, because you get a low price and lots of features and individual ink cartridges. Alright, well, we have the setup sheet. This one is a little more involved than the ones we've seen from some of the low-end printers. One page. This one is actually one page as well, but it's in several different languages. French, Spanish, and English is on the front, so it's only one page. Take off the tape, install the paper tray, connect the power cord, turn it on, follow the prompts, and it'll tell you to load paper and install the ink. Follow the prompts on a touch screen. It's also got a 2.65 inch touch screen, and then you have a bigger getting started guide, which tells you all about how to install the software and how to use some of the advanced features and set up the fax. Alright, it has a power brick, which is something we haven't seen on HP printers for a while. I like it when they don't have a brick. Here is the not sure what this is. We'll find out when we go to set it up later. Looks like some kind of a cover. And the CD-ROM software. Got this cardboard. And like most HPs, there's the bag with handles on it. These styrofoam inserts are one piece. black cover, looks like the front of the paper tray. As you can see, it's gaping wide open, so that looks like it fits over the top here. Not a lot of protective plastic on everything because it's a gloss. It's a matte black finish versus gloss black, which is nice. Won't show up fingerprints as well. There's another tray on top here, which is for the document feeder. And here we have your automatic duplex unit. A couple pieces of tape. There's a piece of cardboard here. They actually have USB and wired networking, which is a lot of low-end machines don't have that anymore. It's just wireless. And over here are your phone jacks. So let's get it up on the table and finish up the rest of the installation. Okay, the one-page installation instructions basically say take off the tape and plug it in, turn it on, follow the prompts. So let's start on the top here. There's a piece of protective plastic came off of the gloss document feeder guide. In this bag is, and it's also got protective plastic on it. And around the edges is the input tray for the document feeder. These gloss black edges here, protective plastic on them. There's also a piece of tape across the top over here, with a piece of protective plastic protecting another glossy rectangle here. Not sure what that's all about. It looks like a smooth surface helps originals come out. Lifts up a little bit and a little indentation here, but I'm not so sure what it's for. There's another piece of protective plastic on the other document feeder side guide. This is for front here. This is your output tray. And it really sticks out far, so you're going to need another 11 inches. Shove the machine back. Alright, so the document feeder is not much to do but take off the protective material. One piece of tape. There's another piece that wraps under the document feeder here to, I don't know what it does, holds the feeder together, holds the top tray together so it doesn't pop open. And then there's these two pieces of foam here, thin foam to protect the letter size platen. And this piece here is to keep top of the document feeder from popping open. If you get a gem in the document feeder, this is where you're going to take it out. I see more protective plastic here. Let's take this tape off. And a piece of protective plastic came off with it. There's a document feeder adjusts, and there's a button underneath to release it. And let's take off this protective plastic. The power button's right here. The rest of it is a touch panel. The only hard button is the power button. Once I put this in here, it doesn't want to come out so easy. But we're going to have to install, there's some stickers in here. French stickers to put over this row of stickers here. Okay, now I shouldn't have put this on here. It's in your way, it's not my way, but alright, so this is the front of the tray, and it basically just snaps right in like so. And there's a piece of protective plastic for the gloss. And it doesn't look like you're going to be able to do legal size prints out of here, because this doesn't look like it's made to come off the front of this. But all you need to do is put the media in and adjust these side guards. There's no markings in there for legal size paper that I can see. So you put the paper in and you just shove it forward. Yeah, I might as well put some paper in there now. I'm going to use Hammermill Copy Plus. It's reasonably priced, very consistent, good quality paper, and it has color lock for inkjet. So I lift open the top of the tray. Slide the paper in, adjust the guides, that's it. And then you need to pull this out. It's marked letter A4 here, so it sticks out pretty far in the front of the machine. Now this wants to come out. But you can see how far it sticks out. So there's a bunch of junk behind here, but you'd have to push it back this far on the desktop so nobody bumps into it as they walk by and tears the tray off. This thing will pop out. You'll break it, but it'll pop out. Okay. Next thing you do is power it up. A little tiny pigtail here, power cord. A little bit longer than a pigtail, but it's maybe 18 inches long. And then we have the power brick. Hardest thing so far is getting this off. And the power cord only goes in one way, and it's back. I don't see it. Oh. I don't see the power port anywhere. It's underneath this piece of tape. Just want to flip this around so we can have another piece to take off here. So they put it over the top of the power cord because they don't forget to do this. Good job, HP. All right, so plug it in. This only goes in one way. And of course, there we go. All right. Now we need to turn it on. And while we're waiting for it to give us the rest of the instructions, okay, there it goes. We'll unwrap these ink cartridges. All right, now it's English. Okay. Yes. USA. Yes. To set up the printer and connect to the network, touch continue or view a demo. Continue. Initializing setup. Okay. Showing us a diagram. Install the ink cartridges and the animation is starting, so we can do that without watching the animation. Open the front cover. The ink carrier should come over. There we go. There's a diagram here that shows you how to install the cartridges. Like it was color coded. The cartridges don't have anything to take off except for the outer ring that binds them together. There's no plugs, no strips, nothing. So we'll put in black first. Then there's a space, it's double size for the big XL black cartridge. You just push it until it clicks and stays in place. Black. Yellow. Cyan. And magenta. Okay, it's all done. Close the cover. Continue. Load paper, we already did that. There's an animation. Next. During the process, you might hear a sound. Okay, we're hearing a sound. Genuine cartridges installed. Okay. Preparing printer. The wireless button is flashing here. Sounds like it's printing out a test page. And a calibration page. Or not. I'm not liking the sound of that. Paper's not all the way pushed forward. that was the problem. That's why it kept clunking like that. I expected that it keeps clunking like that. Paper's installed properly. I don't see the rollers dropping down to pick up the paper. I'm going to open up the back here and look and see if there's something I forgot to do. Took off the duplex unit. Pops open. But I don't see the rollers dropping down to pull the paper out of the... I can see them back here. I don't know how much longer it's going to do this. I think we have a defective printer here. Wonderful. You can see the rollers in them from the back, but they're just like tight. And they're not coming down to pick up the paper. I can actually touch them from back here. I don't see anything in here. But these rollers are supposed to drop down and they're not. This is hopeless. The rollers are supposed to drop down and pull the paper through, and they're hung up above the level of the paper drawer and stiff as all get out. I can't even force them to come down. So I have a feeling this is a defective printer, and it's kind of screws me up because we got to run tests. On schedule. Oop. Okay. I don't know if turning on its back helped at all, but it finally picked up the paper, and it's printing the... Now maybe I was just panicking because it was making a clunking sound. Hopefully, this is what I've been waiting for, the test print. But I am grateful that maybe I jumped the gun, but they usually don't make that much clunking sounds when, and I've installed, God knows, 50 of these things. So it's printing 50%, and I'm really relieved that this is working. So when you unbox yours and it's making that clunking sound, just ignore it and see how long it does it. And if it just keeps doing it like it seems like forever, when I flipped it on its back, it auto-magically picked up the paper and started printing. Next thing it's going to ask us to do is set up the wireless, and it's been the same on all the other HPs that we've done lately with a touch screen. You can enter your password through the QWERTY of your router, your Wi-Fi router, through the QWERTY keypad that pops up over here. Or you can use, if you have a WPS push button router, you can just push the WPS button and it will automatically connect without the use of having to put the password in over here. And finally, if you're using wired Ethernet, you can just plug the cable in the back here and go over and install your software. A lot of the low-end machines don't have wired Ethernet anymore, so here's what it just printed out. So it's nice to have, if you have a wired, if you put this near your router and you have a piece of network cable, that's probably the best way to hook it up, is with a cable directly to your wireless router. That's the most reliable. All right, success. Okay. Now it's asking me whether I want to do wired, wireless, or USB, or connect later. I'll do wireless just to show you. Software assisted at the computer requires wireless computer. Okay, so you could do it from a wireless computer as well. Wireless setup wizard. Do the wizard. Continue. You can print a guide out here to help you. I press continue. There's also information in the getting started manual. Okay, now it found my router. Select a name, and you can either, it has a show me button on how to do the WPS, or if you can skip it and enter your password on the QWERTY control QWERTY keyboard that pops up. It's kind of small. I'm going to use the WPS button, and I just press that, and it found it. It's connecting. So that's the easiest way to do it. And you can also just put, do this now. You can do it later. It makes it easier to get it over with, even if you're installing with a wired networking cable. Because you'll just be prompted to plug in the networking cable with a USB cable when you install the software. Okay, it's successfully connected. Okay. Set up web services, which is your ePrint, and where you can send a email from anything it'll print out the attachment on this printer from any email enabled device. You can also go on the ePrint website and download printables, which are applications that show up on the control panel. And so I'll just okay. Now just making a web services, ePrint and apps are not enabled. To enable, make sure the printer is connected to the internet. Yes. Alright, that's a good thing I hooked up the wireless. Printer can automatically check for updates. Yes. It's a good thing to get the networking, the wireless set up right now, because you can get all of this stuff taken care of ahead of time, and then go install the software installation will be easier. Enabling web services, acquiring email address, so the printer will have an email address, and you send the printer an email with an attachment, it'll print it out. And you don't have to be logged into a network or use touch to print or anything like that. It's you can do it from anywhere, as long as you from anywhere. You don't have to be logged into the network or even physically see the printer. Right here, it's just printed out the website to go to. It tells you how to finalize the ePrint setup, and when you go, you got to enter a bizarre code here, and you can rename. Once you get there and get logged in, you can rename the email address to something that you can recognize. So, okay. Web services set summary. You can print it. Okay. Now it says the printer's been set up. Go put the CD-ROM in your computer and finish up the software installation. Okay. Thank you for choosing HP. And you have the touch screen and your touch panel over here. There's a row of icons for the web services, your wireless setup, Echo setup, Echo setup for timeout, brightness of the display, things like that. And then there's a check your ink, and it says copy, fax, apps. And you touch apps. It's connecting to the web, and it's showing us a list of apps that we can download, and it's showing us Disney, all recipes, samples, manage. And manage means you can download more apps and put them on this printer. You can also do it from ePrint. Daily, mind tools, crosswords. And these are just some that are available from the control panel. Really, they did Sudoku, NBC News. Really, they want you to print stuff out. That's the main purpose of all of this. But there are some useful things. There's also Google Drive, OneDrive. You can print stuff from the cloud, and you can get more. So that's it. Home. Pretty easy. You've got a little bit of a scare with we thought was a paper feeding. I got one more of these to go, so we'll see what happens. All right, thanks for watching.